Welcome to First Impression Sports Talk. This is season 2, episode 1, and today we're going to be talking all things Pittsburgh Steelers. I have my very special guest, Brennan, with me. You know, he's the biggest Pittsburgh fan, so he's going to go into a lot of different things, a lot of different rants. So let's bring on Cole. Let's talk about these Steelers. So, Cole, I'm going to start off. We saw what happened on Sunday against the Texans, 30-6. Kenny Pickett gets injured. Trubisky comes in. C.J. Stroud has a good game. What was your reaction to the Steelers' loss?
So, first off, to all the Steelers fans, class is in session. Dr. Brennan is teaching the class. So, I need you guys to all get a piece of paper, a pen, and maybe even a notebook. You're going to be taking some notes today. All right. I don't know where anyone got this 12-5 garbage and, 11-6. Kenny Pickett is going to be like the second coming of Christ, or he's going to be Dan Marino, or Mike Tomlin is one of the greatest coaches of all time. None of it. No more. All right? Guys, hype them up every year. And what happens? What happens? I watched the game on Sunday. It was all garbage. Everything. I see the stuff that, Mike Tomlin's saying. He just talks a bunch of crap at the end of the game.
Yeah.
All right. See, do you want to know? I can tell you a great story here. You know what my dog did? All right. Tomlin came on. She goes right for the door, back into the house. All right. Guess what she got? Because she didn't want to listen to Tomlin because he was speaking a bunch of garbage. Oh, we have to play better. No crap. You just lost 30-4. No, 30-6.
Yeah.
So my dog Callie got a nice treat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's a good dog right there. She was raised right.
Well deserved.
Yep, well deserved because she's not going to listen to Coach T talk his crap. All right. How many times have the Steelers finished 8-8, 9-8, and how many playoff wins do they have the past 12 seasons?
Yikes. 3. Mm-hmm.
Those look like some really good numbers. Yeah, 3 playoff wins in the past 12 seasons. How's his coaching tree look like? Not good. Only one I can think of is Bruce Arians. That's gone on to go and become a head coach. Bruce Arians, to me, was a better coach than Tomlin. Their offense looks like it's from 1978. It is a train wreck. All right. I mean, what's Matt Canada going to do this week? What new plays is he going to draw up? Oh, we're going to run a jet sweep the other way. It's probably what's going to happen. Yeah, it's a lot of change. I go and I look at some of these great offenses, the Dolphins, the Chiefs. They run a completely different offense than the Steelers.
Yep.
Offense has been garbage since Matt Canada took over. He should have lost his job last year, and he should lose it right now. They had one good game offensively against the Raiders.
The Raiders, yep.
I thought they actually played well against the Raiders.
Yeah, they did.
There was a lot of work to be done. They were by no means near perfect. Najee stinks. Najee is a bust. Offensive line, garbage.
I'm glad you mentioned that name. You want to know how many carries and yards he had? 14 carries for 71 yards.
He stinks. Bust. I mean, what is not? I really do like the way how Jaylen Warren runs the ball, though.
Yeah.
Love watching him run. He hits the holes fast. He goes right through the tackles. I love watching him run the football. What have I said? What have I continued to say for so long? Taking a running back in the first round is stupid. Najee was no generational running back at all. I didn't like the pick at first.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it even more now.
Yeah, I
Hate
agree.
taking running backs in the first round. What else have they done in the draft? Quarterback Kenny Pickett. Let's talk about him.
Yes.
Steeler fans, what did you guys say? Guys said he was going to be like Dan Marino, or, he was going to be some franchise quarterback. What did he show you last year? Because I didn't see much. I did not see anything at all that told me he was going to be a franchise quarterback.
He
He
had
had
glimpses.
one
Just glimpses.
great drive
Mm-hmm.
against the Ravens. And I
Yep.
go and I watch a sports show right after. They're all praising him. He's going to be a franchise quarterback. I turned off the garbage. I'm like, this is one drive. One drive. It is so pathetic. I do not like to come on here and just rip Pittsburgh, the Steelers, or any single one of those three teams. I love the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
They were my second favorite team in Pittsburgh behind the Penguins. The Penguins will always be one. Because another thing I don't like about the Steelers is the way that they act. They act so stupid. They go out, they're dancing, like, oh, hey, we stopped them on 3rd down and 14, but we're losing 30-6. Oh, we're going to go and dance. Like, you know what? You played an awful game. Shut up. Give the ball back to the ref. Go about your game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why I really think Troy Polamalu retired?
Oh, let's talk about that.
I think he got sick of the culture.
The culture is completely different than what it was before.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. He had Antonio Brown. He had Mr. CTE.
Yes.
And he had Le'Veon Bell, who's probably the dumbest moron walking God's green earth. Both of them.
Don't forget Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju. That's another one.
Or Chase Claypool.
Chase Claypool. Juju Smith-Schuster dancing on the TikTok logos. Yeah, guess what happened? They got blown out against the Bengals a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So pathetic. Like, you go and you watch all these great teams. You see the Chiefs.
The Chiefs, yeah.
How often are they in the news for doing something stupid?
Well, now they have Taylor at the helm, so they talk about her a lot, but still.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm really excited to see how long that relationship lasts because Taylor Swift is going to need another breakup album soon.
Oh man, you already know it's coming.
Oh, it's already coming.
Yeah, she's already writing it now. That's the word on the street. Mm-hmm. But Cole, for the Steelers, let me call out these stats. Offensively, they're 25th in points per game. They're 29th in yards per game. They're 27th in yards per play. That's 4 yards every play. 22nd on third down. They're 20th in the red zone in scoring and 24th in touchdowns per game. That is not going to cut it. Their best stat is red zone scoring, which is their 20th. I mean, we talk about the culture of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the culture is not there anymore. It feels like it's non-existent. There's no aggression. It's for show, it seems like. And like you mentioned, you're down 30-6, and we're getting hyped because you make a play, or we did this, we did that. No. What about in the beginning of the game and keeping that same pressure throughout 4 quarters? That's the biggest thing. Najee Harris, 71 yards on 14 carries is not going to cut it. And then he had one big gain for 32 yards. That was a reception. But when we look at Najee Harris, of course, he had a great career in college. Of course, he played at Alabama, one of the best schools in history. And of course, you have a great career there. You're running the ball over everyone. You're knocking down people. And the NFL is completely different. You can't outrun everyone. You can't knock everybody down. You can't do that. You have to change your game. You have to evolutionize yourself. I look at, and Cole, we mentioned great offenses. Look at the 49ers offense. Look at what Christian McCaffrey is doing. Look at how Kyle Shanahan has those pieces around him. They're making their schemes in place. There's things going on. You look at the Dolphins, you look at the Bills, you look at the Chiefs, the Ravens. You look at these teams that their offense is clicking. They're putting their teams in place to win games when it feels like the Steelers are just getting by. Oh, we just hope something bad doesn't happen, or we hope that a player just miraculously has a good game. No, there's no game planning. There's no preparation. I look at the Texans. Now, the Texans were one of my dark horse teams because I like what they're doing so far. You know, CJ Stroud, he's playing great so far, you know, his NFL career. But still, I mean, you're out playing. This is a team that's new. First year head coach, first year quarterback. There's a lot of new things happening. The Steelers, there's guys that's been in this moment before with the Steelers. They've been in the NFL for some years, and we're still having issues. Let's look at some of the stats on the defensive side of the ball. And I think you mentioned it last week or 2 weeks ago, Cole, when we talked about their secondary, the Steelers secondary. It's not good. It's not good. I mean, Nico Collins, the receiver for Texans, he had 7 receptions for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, who was guarding this person? What were we doing? I mean, I think the Steelers front 7, I think, of course, tjwatt, but this can't always be on tjwatt all the time. Where's somebody else is going to need to step up, especially on the back end, to make plays. We're not putting people in place. We're not putting the defense in place to make plays. And then that doesn't help with the offense is not doing anything or amounting to anything. But with all that being said, Cole, the Steelers are still second in the AFC North. Now, does that mean anything to you? Do you see anything like, oh, wow, that's great? Does that mean anything to you, them being second in the AFC North?
Absolutely not. I've watched every game. I don't even care what standing they're in. Okay? The Bengals, Joe Burrow's obviously hurt. That is so clear. He's not been Joe Burrow. So guess what? He's hurt. I mean, you made a couple really good points. The 49ers, the Dolphins. I love the Dolphins offense. Tua,
yes,
front runner for MVP right now.
I agree.
Still front runner. Love what they do with Tyreek Hill. I love what the 49ers do with Deebo Samuel too. They have weapons.
Yes. A lot.
It is just, you know, I said before the season, I had a couple very big things that I'm just thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the offense changing.
No.
At all. Matt Canada was the OC. He's not going to change the offense.
No.
And people are still 12-5. I do not know where anyone got these records from that they were going to be 12-5. How do I go? I get people have different perspectives and stuff.
Right.
For all of these things to happen with 12-5, this is what needed to happen. Secondary needed to be a huge upgrade.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Nope. That hasn't happened.
At all.
The run defense has had to be better. Nope. They were good against the Raiders. Stop Josh Jacobs.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But how did they do against the Browns and the 49ers? Bad. Horrible. Kenny Pickett needed to be a huge upgrade.
The same stuff.
Right. You're relying on tjwatt to be healthy. He hasn't been healthy.
No.
But so far this season, he has.
Yeah. And even you mentioned the rush defense. It's not going to get any easier because you have to play the Ravens this week. I mean, and I was looking at their stats. They're number 1 in rushing right now. And they're always going to be because, of course, Lamar and what they do with the run game and how their offense is clicking. Odell's coming back. There's a lot of receivers coming back. Bateman's coming back. And Lamar is playing ridiculously. I think right now I could say him and Tua right now are both going to battle it out for that MVP, both of them. You know, and then I'll put Josh Allen somewhere and then Christian McCaffrey as well. Those 4 guys right now to me are the front runners right now. But Lamar is playing lights out. He's passing the ball. He's second in the league in pass completion, second league. And that's without an Odell Beckham Jr. That's without Rashard Bateman, who they get back this week with, of course, with Zay Flowers. And then, of course, you have Mark Andrews, who's a top 3 tight end in the league. Their defense has greatly improved. Their defense is number 1 in rushing. They're in their secondary. They're in the top 10. I mean, the Ravens are putting it together. And for you, Cole, what are the Steelers going to have to do in order to pull off this upset? And they're at home. They get the home crowd. But what can they do to, like, get pressure on Lamar or even make this a game and try to get this upset at home?
I think they're going to get killed on Sunday. I really do.
That's it.
I really do think they are going to get killed. You know what I said beginning of the season? I bet you they lay an egg against either the Texans or the Raiders. I thought they would win one of those 2 games.
Yes. You predicted it. Yeah.
I called it. And you know why I felt that way? Because Tomlin, in the past, has always laid an egg against an inferior team.
He has.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of these things in the city, it's just like, I don't understand. Like, I respect these people's opinion.
Right.
But make some better takes, please.
I feel like for them, it's the idea of what it could be.
Right.
You know, basically you see glimpses of this and you're going by the past. You're going by what it could be. It's not about could anymore. It's about can it happen? And it hasn't happened. The Steelers have not turned the corner. And to be frank, I think Kenny Pickett is decent, you know, but is he the guy that the Steelers need right now? Is he that quarterback that the Steelers can say, you know, this is our franchise. We're going to stand behind him, especially in a division where you have a Lamar Jackson, where you do have Deshaun Watson and you have Joe Burrow. Is he that guy that's going to compete with all 3? I mean, it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot to be answered, but as of right now, it doesn't look that way. It does not look like that way. And then it doesn't help. And I'm going to bring up another point. Matt Canada has been around in this offense, and there's no improvement, obviously. I'm shocked that the Steelers didn't go try to get Eric Bieniemy, who's doing very well for Washington right now. I'm really shocked that they didn't, hey, let's go get him. And look at what the Washington looks like right now. They're a good team. They're a good team with him calling plays for them. Why didn't the Steelers try to go get somebody like that? I have no idea. No idea.
Guess what? Guess who said that too? I said that. I said they should go get Eric Bieniemy this offseason.
Yes, you did. But the commander snatched him.
But the commander snatched him. Eric Bieniemy would be such a good hire. You would see change in the offense. Yes, I don't think they have the player personnel to be a top offense.
Mm-hmm.
I never viewed Kenny Pickett as some franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. He had one great season in college at Pitt. By the way, not a Pitt fan. We are Penn State. Hail WVU.
Yes.
The next big thing, like, too, I mean, it just falls on Tomlin.
Yeah.
Okay? He's had one Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
When are we going to start having the conversation of Tomlin's not a top 5 coach, but there's a lot of people that think he is. What has he done? But, never had a losing season. If you finish off at 9-8, you're mediocre.
Yeah.
Mediocre.
It's just coasting. It's
coasting.
Like, you mentioned that. And let's talk a little bit about the coaches, right? So Mike Tomlin, I do have respect for him, you know, especially, you know, being a black coach. It's very tough being a black coach in this league. But I look at Mike McDaniel down in Miami. I look at Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco. Kyle Shanahan has multiple playoff runs. Went to the Super Bowl with the Falcons. Then he goes to the 49ers. They made it with Jimmy Garoppolo, and they've been in the playoffs. They've been in there. It's been consistent. They've always been a contender, always. You look at Mike McDaniel's second season, has Miami sitting at 3-1 right now. He has them competing. They're top 5 offense in the league. Mike Tomlin, it's like, even in your division, you have guys like Bengals head coach. They went to a Super Bowl. They went to a Super Bowl a couple years ago. They've been in the AFC Championship games. What are we going to do, Mike Tomlin? Like, that's the biggest question, and I can understand as Steelers fans, like, okay, yeah, you haven't had a losing season, but I see other coaches. We're not just going for a losing season. We're or a winning season. We're competing in AFC Championship games. We're going to the playoffs every single year and competing. At least make it a game. But I don't know. I just feel like the Steelers, they're not about mediocrity. That's not what the Steelers brand is about. Oh, we got a winning season. No, this is a championship team with a championship pedigree, with players that have been up and down. Their Hall of Famers that have competed at the highest level. And I understand they're probably like, man, what is going on? What is going on with the Steelers? And I have no clue, but I agree with you, Cole. When it comes to Sunday, I do not think they're going to beat the Ravens. The Ravens are getting healthier, and even with them winning right now, they're getting healthier. And Lamar's playing out of his mind. I don't know what the Steelers can do to combat that or stop that. I have no idea. And for Kenny Pickett, I know Jay, our producer, he said before the show, like, I don't think Kenny should be playing. He's still injured. There's still some things not right, but you gonna go with Trubisky? I
would.
It's a major problem, but I really hope the Steelers find something. I mean, Matt Canada they don't seem like they're matched right now. I mean, I would have hoped they would have got somebody like Eric Bieniemy, guys like that who can call plays. And look at what he's paying off for the Commanders right now, and I don't know. I think you guys have one of the best young receivers in Pickens. He's a stud, but he's not given the opportunity to show what he can do and what he could be,
right.
And you have there are talented pieces on the Steelers offense. We're just not putting them into plays. We're not running schemes. There's no scheme. There's just the same things over and over. Same things over and over. And I understand how frustrated you guys are, because that's kind of where the Packers are right now too. But Cole, any last words, any last thoughts heading into this season or the rest of the season? Do you think the Steelers could possibly make a playoff run before we get out of here? Do you think they're going to make a playoff run, or is it just going to be the same thing as been?
Yeah, so I want to just comment off a couple of the points.
Mm-hmm.
You made had some great points. Championship pedigree with the Steelers. Yeah, they have 6 Super Bowls.
Yes.
6. They are tied with the Patriots with Lombardies.
Yes.
Next thing, look at all the talent that has come up and down over the years through the Steelers.
Right.
70s, Mean Joe Green. You have Terry Bradshaw.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Roethlisberger. Troy Polamalu.
Yep. A lot
Santonio Holmes with one of the greatest catches in Super Bowl history.
Yes.
With the toe tap. Hines Ward. So many playmates. James Harrison.
Mm-hmm. He was a beast.
He was a stud. And the talent that they have now, tjwatt, George Pickens. Pickens is a phenomenal receiver. Very good. He's up and coming. Get him a quarterback that can throw him the ball.
Yes.
Kenny Pickett is not the answer. They are not.
Pickens could easily be a number 1 receiver. Easily.
Yeah. Oh, easily. He's already proven it to me.
Yeah.
I go and I watch him. It's like, the one-handed catch. I mean, it's so hard to see what's happening to the Steelers right now as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
I've loved this team since, I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I just hated how they have acted.
Yeah.
Don't like how they act now.
The culture.
I said before that Pittsburgh sports would be going through a depression. The Pirates they're the Pirates.
Yeah.
They're a minor league team. You have the Penguins, their run's over. And by the way, they aren't winning a cup this year. I don't care if they have Erik Karlsson. Crosby's 36, Malkin's 37, Karlsson is probably 32 or 33. That Cup winning for the Penguins is over. It's slammed shut and locked. They have a chance to go max to the second round. But the Steelers, too. I mean, how much hope should I have for them?
Right.
I said it like week 2. Last year I go out and I've made all these comments. I've ended up being proven right.
Yeah.
Not to go out here and, brag it and just shove it in everyone's face. I'm a 21-year-old kid from Robert Morris who's been watching sports my whole life.
Yeah.
I'm not an idiot. I'm not. I know this stuff. I know this stuff better than a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Because I sit there, I watch it, I listen, and I've been learning from people who are a lot smarter than me. So this is just to everyone making these takes, 11 and 5, 11 and 6, 12 and 5, all these things miracles that needed to play out. They weren't going to play out.
Yeah.
They just weren't. There were so many things that needed to happen.
Right.
And, my final words to say here is look at the little things. The little things when you watch a sporting event. The plays, the OC, Matt Canada, who's a complete moron. He sucks at his job. He needs to be fired. I'm actually bummed. It's actually sad. Yeah. It's like, you know what? As a fan, there will be no Super Bowl this year. There will be no Super Bowl next year. I don't know when their window is going to open again.
Right.
But all I know is Kenny Pickett is not a franchise quarterback. He may be Kirk Cousins at best. Hopefully, he's just more clutch than Kirk Cousins. And I don't even know if he's going to be that. So, to all of this, what a shame. I think they're going to get blown out against the Ravens. But you know what? I hope all the viewers watching, if you're a Steelers fan, listen to what I'm saying. You're not going to – you might not like what I say. But
it's factual.
Last year I called the record 8-9, 9-8. I was right. Said this year 9-8, 10-7. My final record right now, if I were to go and make a judgment, 8-9, 9-8. Mediocre again.
Another winning season, but maybe not even inching into the playoffs. But that comes from Cole. Cole is a Pittsburgh fan, as you heard him. And, Pittsburgh fans, they're waiting. They're waiting for the moment that window to open, to get into these playoff games, to compete and show people, that the Steelers are back. Thank you again, Cole, for coming on and just giving your expertise and giving your thoughts on the Steelers and what the future looks like in Pittsburgh as well. That wraps up this episode of First Impression Sports Talk. Please subscribe to First Impression Sports Talk's YouTube channel. Follow me on my Instagram, which is First Impressions Jazz, and then you can check me out on Twitter, which is @JazzyEsk. See you guys for more. There's more content coming. Really excited. So that wraps it up. See you next time.